I thought I was recording. I was not. Today I'm going to discuss using dark humor as a coping mechanism. This is like the fourth time I've tried starting this. Anyways, um, I think dark humor is a form of humor. I think and deeply believe just because someone makes dark jokes, I don't think that they're morally corrupt. Like, for example, even Anthony Jeselnik, like he makes really out there jokes and he acknowledges this and he loves it. He like really leans into it. I don't think he's a morally corrupt individual because of his style of comedy. I think it's possible that he's still a genuinely good person. Do I know that? No, because I don't know him as an individual. But I do believe that it is possible for both things to be true about him, potentially. Um, the same way that I feel like being offended by dark humor doesn't automatically mean that you're a person with great integrity. I've met many people who would easily and quickly and proudly get offended on behalf of other people or speak for other people and tell speak for other people as they spoke to them as well. And it's patronizing and it doesn't solve problems. Like if you're approaching any situation with wanting to save or rescue a person, like it's important to reflect on why it is that you're taking that approach or why you're motivated by um, why you're using those why you're using the need to save or rescue a person as fuel for your motivation because it what it ends up being is seeing the person you're trying to help as less than yourself. Like the power dynamic is unbalanced. And it can lead to exhaustion as well. Like, I'm trying to think of like the whole sympathy versus empathy thing that I've seen. Like, the visual I've seen is someone stuck in, like, let's say a well. And then sympathy is like someone at the top of the well saying, like, oh, it really sucks down there. And then empathy is like someone coming down and sitting in the well with them and just being like, how can I help? I think that's what the visual was. I might be messing it up. And the interpretation of that, I think, for me was like taking on other people's problems and suffering with them in the name of helping them get out of their problems. But that's not fair or like a realist, like, it's not a fair ask. Realistic's not the word. I was going to say it's not a realistic ask. It's not a reasonable ask of other people to stop living their lives in order to get people out of their suffering. And it's almost like there's like a guilt to people who are able to enjoy their lives um, greatly while there are people who exist that suffer. Like it's possible to live a happy and joyful life and be appreciative and feel great gratitude, even though strangers and loved ones around you may not be at that place in their own life. And that's okay. And sometimes I think that's what it takes to get people out of their stuck ways, is to see someone close to them living um, a healthy lifestyle. It's possible to help people through example. Okay, I'm not even looking at the camera. Um, and I think I battle with that, like with really thinking through who I want to be as a person and what that's gonna look like and feel like. And something that comes up to me a lot is sarcasm. And if I don't know, because I feel as though sarcasm can put a stop to genuine conversation. Like, I think there's a time and place for it, maybe. Like, it can be a coping mechanism or it can help. Like, for me in the past, it's helped me when maybe emotions were becoming overwhelming or a situation was becoming overwhelming for the coping abilities I had at that given moment in time, that sarcasm would kind of help curb the pain of it, or dark humor would help curb the pain of it until I was ready to deal and handle that, or maybe until I felt like I was in a safe enough environment to face whatever it was that needed to be curbed head on. Like to face that, I don't want to say obstacle, but face the issue head on. Um, and yeah, but I think what I keep returning, I shouldn't say always, what I keep returning back to is I want to continue my goal of using sarcasm less and less until it gets to a point where I just don't use sarcasm anymore. I think sarcasm for me has been a crutch at times, um, which at times I needed because it's like I had a broken leg. Like you can't shame. Like if you saw someone with a broken leg using crutches, you'd be like, "Why are you using a crutch?" But if you see someone with two perfectly capable, healthy legs, where using a crutch, it'd be strange. Like, why are you using those crutches? You don't need them. And that's kind of like where I feel the trajectory of my healing is going towards. And another thing is being a safe person for people does not mean being responsible for their healing or prioritizing them in any shape at all. Kind of weird to just say any shape, in any way, in any form, shape. And with that, um, sorry, I keep pausing because I'm battling. I'm going, since maybe because I haven't made a video in a little bit, like I always return to questioning making a video. Like I just get anxiety about, like, oh, now I'm getting annoyed talking about that. Um, yeah, annoyed with myself, like, oh. Um, okay, so ignore the fact that I tied. I started off by saying this video is going to be about dark humor as a coping mechanism. I touched on that a little bit, but I think this is just going to be more about me talking through what I'm experiencing right now. And if you can resonate with that, then you can. Um, because that's kind of like the big part of my channel. I think is just me sharing my thoughts and documenting my thought processes out loud, and then I can have like this journal that I can refer to, as markers for my growth. And the big thing is, I just didn't really see this um, when I personally needed it the most. And I know, it's a greater thing to discuss, kind of these things, but sometimes I feel that people take an approach of like, I'm here, like, I don't know, either they lean into the victim mentality or they take the like guru or I'm your big sister. I'm here for you. I'm your internet big sister. I'm your internet best friend. Pay this amount of money to interact with me because that's what big sisters and best friends do. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, you're just exploiting vulnerable people. Like, just, I guess you're not going to be honest if you're doing that. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest thing is just realizing that, like, not everyone wants to put in the work to better themselves. And sometimes